Hey, Roddy Casual Dad Plays here. Just with a quick little update in case you haven't seen it. The devs just released this little check-in on the Civ Discord and on the website. Just wanted to breeze through real quick as there'll be a greater update coming later this month on April 22nd. So that update is update 1.2.0. It could change, always. The updates can always change. You can read through it for yourself. I want to highlight some things. The first off is the resources. They're going to update. They say that there's some major changes coming, so maybe they'll change how we play the game. They're going to give us some more details in the update notes, which makes sense. But they're going to add more resources, and they'll have their own narrative events. That's going to be really fun. One of the things that I like that they said in here is the randomized resource generation system. So they're going to make sure you have key resources so that you can progress along Civ unlocks, like abyses that need the 3 camels unlocked, or you need the jade or the silk or whatever. You're still gonna be able to do that, as well as having enough to hit your economic legacy path. That's going to be done for you. But now they're saying there's gonna be more varied, which I like because it was kind of getting a little boring. Of like, okay, well they're kind of the same ones, kind of dispersed. And now they're bringing back something that they had from Civ 6, which I'm not sure why they got rid of it, but I'm glad it's back. They're calling it Hemisphere Identity. And so really it's what like they did in Civ 6, which basically some resources will only appear on one continent or in one hemisphere. Particularly, they're talking about treasure resources. So that kind of invites you to go settle other continents, whether that's your own settlements or taking over the AI or multiplayer, the other people's settlements, trying to get into those other continents to get those other resources. They're also going to finally give passive effects to the treasure resources. This is something I've thought for a while myself. I never voiced it out loud, but I did think, it's kind of a wasted tile. Why doesn't it do something? I mean, of course, in the modern age, it gets changed, so it becomes a factory tile and factory resource, and so that's helpful. But in the exploration age, I'm glad they're doing it like an empire-wide resource where it helps give some bonus. So excited to see what those effects are going to be. And so then on top of that, what they have is some more variabilities like horses and furs. As we all know from history, those were considered treasure resources. I mean, the whole reason France came over to hit up Canada and then America with the British, and then they fought the French and Indian War, was because of the furs and other treasure resources. And so that's super helpful. There's going to be some balances to resources. Also, with the management screen, if you don't already have the resource management mod, it's probably going to take a lot of things from that. And it's going to be super helpful as well as supporting distant land stars across all ages. But they'll give us more details. That's going to be interesting because some of the bigger. This will help with some of the bigger maps. Some of the bigger maps, especially if you do like a true start, it gets a little wonky because of having to deal with where to place everybody. Another very popular one that I've been playing as if they're going to fix this, because I figured they would. But they tell us that they're fixing the food because, I mean, honestly, if you focus food, it's not that great, but it could be. So it's going to change up some different play styles and make a food focus more viable. So, I don't think it's going to change the tier list for beginners I put out, because food is still good up to, they said 8 or 9 rural pop. So by then you're going to have a bunch of your urban pop, your buildings and things that is going to be helpful to push your total population up higher. So I don't think that's going to matter for beginners. Maybe for people that play higher difficulties, it will matter more. They did say they're going to change it from cubic formula to quadratic, so it scales more smoothly. People like Pechicuti and others will feel a little bit stronger. And supposedly the AI is going to be better at building their civs. They've already started getting better, but even more better. And then now with them growing more, deity might not feel so easy. When it first came out before the last patch, definitely felt pretty easy. It's gotten a little bit harder, especially with the deity AI. Instead of just wiping out all of the city-states, trying to befriend them, or if you're befriending them, they'll go wiping out for you, so you can't take it over. So it's it's pretty good how the AI are increasing. And so one thing that this has made me do is definitely have to play a little bit smarter, plan a little bit more, especially if I want to do city states. I need to make sure I place my cities in defensive spots around city states and try to put units there to protect them, make it harder for the other deity guys, the AI, to come in and destroy it. This one I've thought about a few times, especially as we're all trying to level up our leaders and our accounts, is one more turn after the modern age. Because you want to secure that victory, but you're also close. You're a few more turns away from that science legacy path being completed, or a few more turns in that war away from completing your ideology path. And so this is real nice that you cuts down on some of the replay a little bit for those that had just massive games that they could complete all legacy paths. They say in here that you'll still be able to complete those legacy paths. You won't be able to technically win in any other fashion, so you won't get that experience or achievement or whatever, but you can still get the achievements for the legacy pass. So that's really good. There's some notes in here about Teams multiplayer, if that's your jam. It's not my jam, but it's good information to know. And then some other things that are coming up. It sounds like in this update, research queuing. I have been waiting for this for so long, because there's sometimes I want that next layer tech, and if I hit city state bonus, or I find a ruin or something that gives me tech, and I want to go where I want it to go and not forget about it or get distracted or whatever. The repair all is a nice feature, and so is this frequency of disasters. I usually keep it on light, but lately it's been quite often I get natural disasters, so I'm not going to put it up to moderate or high until this is fixed, because even at light, I'm still having to repair it quite often, and it really screws up your games. It takes out your wonders you're building, or it takes out your resources, and you got to repair it to be able to slot those back in. And if you don't pay attention, you can just be a real mess. The map generation is getting better to make it more natural looking with coastal erosions, especially near the poles, so that's really nice. And then, of course, always quality of life improvements, which are always welcome. And then they give some more information about, they're going to skip an update in May, most likely, and go to June. And hopefully in June, we'll see Auto Explore. I'm so tired of just moving my scouts around after a certain while in both the Antiquity and Exploration Age. And so I usually just post them up somewhere random and have them as a lookout unless I'm going to war. So that'll be nice to get that Auto Explore. Then I could buy a few extra and just send them out into the world to uncover the map. For me personally, that's nice. New map types and sizes is really good, and then advanced game setup options. Understand why they have been waiting on this, but this is going to be really good to get some of that Civ 6 feel back of really being able to tailor the game to the one you want instead of having to re-roll a lot, especially for those of us that don't have a whole lot of time to play, from week to week, to just really just get in and have the game we want, have fun, and enjoy the games. That's the point of playing games, is to enjoy it. And then, of course, they said they're going to delay right to rule as they're focusing on some of these other hardcore issues, which is a good thing. Sucks for those of us who've already bought it, but I'm glad that they're delaying and not making mistakes other developers have and just keep pushing out new stuff when your old stuff is still broken. Looking at you, PUBG Core, and others. I don't even know if PUBG Core's still around, but yeah, that's the one I have in mind. Anyways, that's been it for this little quick update. Let me know what you think. What are you most excited about for the update rolling out at the end of the month on the 22nd? Don't worry, I will be covering that. They always do a live stream. I will not cover the live stream. I will mention it in my video, but I'll do a full breakdown video of the patch notes when they get released. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave me a like. Let me know in the comments what you think about the upcoming patch, what you're most excited about, what are you not excited about, all those types of things. And I'll see you lovely people later. Bye-bye.